And we're live. We're live. Hello to everyone on YouTube. Hello, hello. Great to be with you all. Let me know if you can see us over there on YouTube. For some reason, it's lagging behind a bit. I guess we're live now. Okay, fantastic. All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I have a lot to share with you today, and I'm super excited to be with you. Call to Calm, if you're new to me, is my love letter to humanity every day. And we've been here now for 1,301 days. So whether you're new to me or you've been here for the duration, I just want to send you all of my love and just thank you for being here today. Thanks for being in my life and being on the planet. You're a blessing. Just going to give it a few seconds, wait till everyone hops on, and then we'll get into it. Just a reminder that today is our multicast day, that we are, as much as we're going live, as we have been every day on Zoom, once a week we will be simulcasting or multicasting on YouTube to provide people an opportunity to connect and to access the consistency, the commitment and the repetition that has been the foundational backbone of every breakthrough that we've had as a community. All right. Good morning, good morning. So I want to get into it. Somebody asked me to define what evolution actually means, or how I experience evolution. And for me, evolution is not a linear progression through time. So if we're being honest, you actually haven't changed at all. Evolution has happened, or the evolution that you're experiencing is actually in your relationship with yourself. So when you first begin, a practice of meditation, or you first embark on a spiritual journey or a journey of personal development, because you've so been convinced that you're wrong and you're flawed, your kind of operating thesis, the reason why you get involved in it, is because you've been led to believe that you have to change, that your life isn't working because of you, and that if only you were different, your life would work. And that's basically why people embark on a journey of spirituality or personal development. However, that fundamental notion couldn't be further from the truth. Actually, you don't need to be fixed, you don't need to be healed, you don't need to be changed, and you don't need to be improved. What you have not been empowered in is yourself and your own ability to divert all of your energy, your effort, your attention, your resources away from trying to change who you are, and instead wholeheartedly accepting and embracing who you are. And so for 1,300 days now on Call to Calm, broadcast via Zoom all over the world, people like you have shown up here and have been able to access this place of profound peace within themselves. And they've been rendered fully capable to go through every single permutation of being human that you could ever imagine. And it's not that they've changed, it's not that they're different. It's that now they know that they're not these emotions that they're feeling, they're not these thoughts, they're not what's happening in their body, that who and what they are is something so profoundly transcendent, something so profoundly beyond it all. So actually what they're discovering is what I've always known, that the entry point into who you are, into the potential that's there, that's dormant within you, that's ever present within you, is through your humanity. And that you have to actually turn and face yourself with love in order to liberate the creativity, in order to liberate the peace, in order to liberate the light, in order to liberate the blessings that have always been innately there. And so we're going to go on a bit of a journey this morning, and for me, the greatest gift in all of this is that I've never actually had to tell anybody any of this. For me, just being in presence, being in connection, people have naturally begun to relax into this state of connection. And this state of connection has come into being as a result of their consistency. My consistency and theirs, their sincere yearning, their willingness to have an authentic relationship with themselves. Because by now, just as they figured out, most of you are beginning to discover that working on yourself, fixing yourself, changing yourself, and healing yourself is a hamster wheel with no end in sight. That you can spend an entire lifetime becoming, arriving, attaining, striving, or in one singular moment, you can finally allow yourself to access the being that you are, the blessing that you are. And so, just close your eyes and just become aware of your breathing. And there's no wrong or right way to do it. Resting in the awareness of your breath brings you into immediate awareness. Meditation in its inception was really just an avenue through which one becomes aware of themselves. To observe oneself without judgment is the highest form of spiritual practice. It's not to change oneself. It's not to mold oneself into some impression of some other being. It's not to emulate somebody else's path. It's to observe oneself without judgment. See, and therein lies the entry point into freedom. Because the part of you that's the witness, the part of you that's the observer, is the part of you that's your being. So the more you accept yourself the way you are, and we're going to do it completely and totally, the more you begin to experience yourself through your heart. And the more you begin to allow this neutrality, this equanimity, this harmony to be expressed with you, this love to be shared with you. And so if you don't mind, we're just going to disengage from fixing, healing, changing, and improving and understanding. And these are all lifelong pursuits. And we're just going to reallocate all of our time, effort, energy, and resources to our heart. Just allowing yourself to become aware of your beautiful heart, the love that you are. Evolution, in a spiritual sense, is vertical. That's why it's called Ascension. One of my favorite scenes from the movie Doctor Strange, the Ancient One is having a conversation with Stephen Strange. And the Ancient One, in all their infinite wisdom, lets Doctor Strange know that you will never overcome your humanity. You're never going to get rid of it. You just learn to live above it. So it's not that your survival goes away, the emotions go away, the thoughts go away. It's just they only exist on one level of reality. They only exist at a certain level of your being. Living above it isn't bypassing it. It's not avoiding it. It's not denying it. It's accepting it and recognizing that actually that emotion and that feeling is an experience that you're having. It's not a commentary on you, nor is it a diagnostic tool. That actually who you are at the level of your being has nothing to do with your experience of being a human being at all. That part of you is pure love, it remains as pure love, and it remains untouched and unaffected by everything that unfolds. And so this morning, through our consistency, and if you've been here for a while or you're new, life has prepared you. We're going to untether ourselves or unplug ourselves or unhook ourselves from all of the things that we've been preoccupied with trying to change. Because in some ways, this flawed thesis of you have to be different in order to get ahead has set you up for a lifetime of failure. Leave me a 1 or yes in the chat if you can see that. If you're on YouTube, leave me a comment. It's actually set you up for a lifetime of failure. Because as much as you've tried to get rid of yourself, you're fundamentally incapable of getting rid of yourself. So at some point, what we have to do is realize, well, hang on a minute. Instead of spending all of my time, effort, energy, and resources on trying to get rid of these things that other people couldn't love about me, well, how about I begin to make peace with them? How about I begin to embrace them? How about I begin to love them? Because maybe the person that I've come here to love is me. Maybe the whole point of all of this is for you to be able to love you. And of course, love for some of you is too much of a stretch, so we're just going to begin with a sense of acceptance. For 1,301 days, I have not needed any of you to change. I've not needed any of you to be different. I'm not your teacher. I'm not your healer. I'm not your guru. I'm your friend. And it's been my joy to share this love letter with all of you every day. And it's the consistency of the sharing of that love letter that allows you one day to hear me. You are exactly the way that you need to be. And just like a mountain doesn't spend its time trying to change, nor does a river, nor does a blade of grass, nor does a tree, nor does a squirrel, or a chipmunk, or a woodchuck, or a cow. Hence, that's why you don't see them in self-help seminars or meditating. In that same way, there is an inherent perfection to the way you've been created, to feel, to experience, and to live. And that perfection may not be perfect for anyone else. But at some point it has to be good enough for you. So I love your anger. I love your depression. I love your anxiety. And instead of trying to get rid of these things, how about we open our hearts to them? I love the fact that you overanalyze everything. Try to make the world safe by creating some mental construct that allows you to finally relax into your heart. I also deeply love the fact that you're in a body, how courageous you are. And I love that you're an individual. So where everyone else has been trying to change you and to get you to conform to some idea of what enlightenment is, or some idea of what success is, or some idea of what peak performance looks like, you are actually in truth the manifestation of all of these things already. You've just been disqualifying yourselves from the experience of them. I recently used the analogy of an ocean. At every level of the ocean, the experience of the ocean itself is true. But as you traverse through the different layers of the ocean, you engage with being in the ocean in different ways. You need different equipment. You need to have a different level of respect for where you are, your surroundings. And there are parts of the ocean that are so out of the reach of our natural capacity that we have to use technology and equipment to explore them. So, yes, you're going through things, you're experiencing things. However, the suffering that you're experiencing around these things is only true at a certain level of human experience. How many of you can see that? The suffering that you're experiencing around these things is only true at a certain level of experience. And typically, it's the part of you that thinks that this shouldn't be happening. The part of you that's been convinced that you can change it, that it should be different, that it shouldn't have happened in the first place. It's typically a part of you that historically you've been incapable of reconciling. But you see, the truth is, there's nothing to reconcile. There's just everything to love. You're adorable. Look at you. Adorable. So the truth is, no matter how much you've worked on yourself, no matter how much you've tried to become enlightened, no matter how much you've tried to follow these success strategies and emulate someone else's path of success, you haven't changed. And then, of course, something happens. The old emotions are evoked. The old feelings are evoked that you thought you got rid of. The old thought forms are evoked that you thought you got rid of. Sometimes a diagnosis or a health challenge comes back again that you thought you got rid of, and whammo, we're back to invalidation again. So the reason why enlightenment, transformation, success, peak performance has not worked is because you started from a place of brokenness. You began with a lie that you were fundamentally flawed, and that you had to do something to become some other version of you, because the version of you that you are now is not the version that's going to make it. Whereas nothing in nature needs to be different. Everything in nature was created perfectly to fulfill its purpose and its function. And just a reminder, human beings are in fact a part of nature, which means that you too have been created perfectly to live your life, that you're fully capable of living your life, that you're fully capable of meeting the diagnosis, of meeting the health challenge, of meeting the change in circumstance, of navigating unprecedented fame and success. You're perfectly capable, and you're perfectly capable, you sweet human being, because you are you. Because you are you. And when you begin to redirect your attention, your awareness, your energy, and your resources back toward your heart, well, then you begin to uncover the wisdom of the ages. That actually, in all honesty, there's nothing that you have to do with your humanity. You can actually just observe it. You can actually just be aware of it. You can actually be the witness of it. It's not that these things go away. It's that you stop perpetuating them. I've come here to let you know that your fixing, healing, changing, and improving is nothing more than the subtle form of you resisting yourself. It's self-invalidation. It's a recipe for failure, and it just further compounds the wounding that you already have of not good enough, unlovable, etc., etc., etc. And this is why the majority of people who embark on a daily practice eventually give up. So we're going to start with some core tenets or fundamental principles from Call to Calm. The first is, you're not broken. God doesn't make junk. You're a part of nature, and you've been created perfectly to live your life. Also, there's nothing wrong with your emotions. Just because you feel an emotion, you're not going to throw humanity into a death spiral that's going to plummet us into some horrible fate. You're going to think thoughts, you're going to have feelings, you're just not going to have a problem with them anymore. You're going to be neurotic, you're just not going to have a problem with it anymore. You're going to be human, you're just not going to have a problem with it anymore. And what allows you to no longer have a problem with it anymore is to realize that being human isn't a limitation at all. It's not getting in the way of your light. It's not getting in the way of your love. It's not getting in the way of you accomplishing what you've come here to accomplish. It's actually the very thing that makes it possible. I've said many a time that being a human being is what affords you the ability to hate the fact that you are one. To complain about it. In the absence of you being a human being, you wouldn't be able to be miserable about the fact that you are one. So after a while, we have to realize that we didn't come here to be spiritual. We came here to be ourselves. We came here to be authentic. We came here to be unique. We came here to be individuals. We came here to have our own experience. And this is where it gets great. Yes, we're all a part of the same infinite consciousness. We're all a part of the same love. We're just experiencing it all uniquely. And that's what makes this thing so wonderful. There will never be another person, another thing in creation as wonderful and as beautiful as you. So everyone in your life is wrong about you. And everyone who's trying to get you to change just simply doesn't love and accept themselves. They don't know who they are. And at some point, you have to have the courage to redirect your attention, your time, your effort, your energy, and your resources toward your own heart. And you have to open up your heart. You have to be willing to love your humanity. And that's what we're going to do. Just close your eyes and breathe and relax. And just getting in touch with the part of you that's pure love. Some people call it the soul. Some people call it the being. Some people call it the authentic self. I just know it as who you really are. Love. And what we're going to do is just allow this part of you that's pure love to give the part of you that's a human being a hug. Just allowing this part of you that's pure love to embrace everything about you that you've been led to believe is wrong, low vibrational, getting in the way of your ability to manifest. The antithesis of enlightenment. The speed bump to success. Allowing yourself, this part of you that's pure love, that's authentically who you are, to embrace the human being that you are, the emotions, the feelings, the thought forms, the body, what's happening in your life, your individuality, your uniqueness. And we're just going to embrace this part of us that's human, that you've spent your whole life trying to get rid of because somebody told you that you'd be better off without it. Meanwhile, they've probably been suffering with the same thing their whole lives. It's not working for them either. Until eventually this part of you that is your soul, your being, your authentic self, the pure love that you are, call it whatever you want, it doesn't matter, it's just pure love. Until it fully merges with your humanity. Your humanity is the doorway to infinite potential. And where everyone else has tried to get rid of it, they've tried to teach you how to avoid it, to deny it, to sidestep it, to adapt in the presence of it. Whether it's day 1 or day 1301, you've been empowered to be it, to embody it, to live it. Because you've been empowered in you. Instead of making you conform to a teaching, an ideology, a practice, some hierarchical structure that doesn't work for anybody, that's antiquated and outdated, you've been empowered in you. Leave me a 1 or a yes in the chat if you're on Zoom with me, if you can begin to feel a shift in your state of being. Reallocating our time, effort, energy, and resources away from this reductionist model where we have to get rid of all these things and become some other version of ourselves. And instead, just opening our heart to ourselves, embracing who we are, loving ourselves, and especially loving who we are as a human being, our individuality, our uniqueness, the way we feel, the way we live, the way we think, the way we breathe, the way we move through the world. And that there is actually nothing wrong with who you are as a human being. It doesn't have to change. It doesn't have to be different. It simply just needs to be embraced and accepted. To know yourself is to become aware of yourself. Becoming aware of yourself allows you to love yourself. That love of yourself, of the human being that you are, liberates you. And all of a sudden, you begin to relate to yourself as the witness, as the observer. You begin to engage in the highest form of spiritual practice. You begin to observe yourself without judgment. Continuing to breathe and relax. And allowing yourself to recognize the power of this. Just imagine if 8 billion people open their heart to themselves. What would happen? If they finally just accepted themselves and loved themselves. As the Chosen One so powerfully stated, strange, you will never be free of these things. One day you'll just learn to live above them. You're always going to be a human being. One day, being a human being won't bother you anymore. On that day, you'll experience yourself through your heart. And then, you'll start to experience everyone else through your heart. And then, you'll start to experience the world around you through your heart. You won't wait for the world to become lovable. You'll just love. Because that's why you're here. But it starts with you. Maybe the person that you came here to love is you. And that begins with every day, resting in the awareness of your breath, accepting who you are, and disengaging from every ideology, every belief system, every way of being that invalidates you as an individual. You came here to be an individual, and you will always be an individual. The whole point of your life is to be unique. To be a unique manifestation and incarnation of an infinite consciousness that's a part of us all. So today, we're done participating in the imperfection economy. We're done subscribing to materials, programs, content, TikTok videos, and everything else that has you believing that you're imperfect, and that in some way there is a solution for this imperfection. See, the only problem with this is, I can't find anything wrong with you. You're exactly the way that you're supposed to be. And even those of you that have been with me for years, you haven't changed. You've just come into the acceptance and the love of yourselves. You just don't have a problem being you anymore. After a while, you'll begin to live as the observer, as the witness, as the love. And you'll never leave it. You'll never leave it. Because no matter what's happening, what you're feeling, what you're going through, you'll pivot out of experiencing your life as an individual, as a person, as a finite being, into experiencing who and what you are beyond it all, which every mystic has articulated as an infinite consciousness. So I want to thank you for being you, for being unique, for being an individual. And thank you for your consistency. As a community, we're empowering the most profound states of being and sustaining them because of our consistency. Somebody once asked me, Panache, how come you're still here? How come you still show up every morning? It's been 1,300 days. Well, because I've discovered that one day you're going to receive this love letter. You're going to realize that it was addressed to you. And you're going to allow yourself to finally recognize and realize everything that I've been saying to you. Because you see, more than it being just about the words, you experience the presence. You experience the truth of it. And one day, the truth becomes the dominant aspect of you. And that day is here. So sending you all my love. And super happy to be with you. If you're new to me on YouTube, welcome. Head on over to panachesci.com. We're here every day. And make sure you subscribe, hit the bell button. Leave a comment, it helps out with the algorithm. And for those of you that have been with me on Zoom, thanks for being the most empowered community in the world. A community of individuals who are empowered in their individuality and are rendered capable fully to live their lives, no matter what they're going through. No matter what they're going through. Yay. Laurel, emojis. Stop typing, Om Shanti, love letter to the world, beautiful. Day 1301, can't believe it. How blessed are we? 1301 days of call to calm. All right, everyone. Close your eyes, open your palms, and take some long, deep cleansing breaths. Good morning, sweet friends, and welcome to another Call to Calm meditation. It's a glorious day on planet Earth. Happy to say that the planet is still spinning, and we are edging ever closer toward loving ourselves and accepting ourselves, and having that become a global phenomenon, and that every single one of you is a part of that wave. If you're new to me, or you've been here for 1,301 days, or some variation of time between day 1 and day 1301, I love you with all my heart. One day you'll realize exactly what that means. You're not here because you're in need of something. You're here because you're ready to walk through the doorway of your humanity into your infinite potential and live from it in every moment. Everyone's tried to fix you. Everyone's tried to heal you. Everyone's tried to enlighten you. Everyone's fed every form of success strategy down your throat and tried to turn you into some version of themselves. Conformity simply just doesn't work. You're an individual, you're unique, you've come here to be authentically you, and the whole point of our time together is for you to finally no longer have a problem with that, and to allow the light, love, and presence that I experience emanating out from you every day to shine forth into the world, first toward yourself, and then toward every other human being. Because we can't wait for the world to become lovable before we love it. You've come here as a part of this wave to free humanity by freeing yourself. And so let's get on with it, shall we? Close your eyes, open your palms, and take some long, deep cleansing breaths. Resting in the awareness of your breath transforms your life into a living meditation. Simply becoming aware of your inhalation and exhalation allows you to become aware of yourself and to transform your life into a living meditation. Welcoming your every in-breath and experiencing a profound sense of gratitude for every exhalation. This morning, we're going to walk through the doorway of our humanity. I discovered a very long time ago that being human was actually an entry point into a greater and deeper experience than anyone could ever imagine. So I'd like you to see, feel, hear, or experience that there's a door in front of you. However, this door isn't fashioned like your typical door in your home. It's a silhouette of your body. It's an absolute replica of you. And it's a door that only you can open. Seeing yourself standing in front of it, you realize that the handle has been biometrically encoded to respond to your fingerprints, to your hand, to your DNA. Only you can walk through it. And as you turn the handle and open the door, and you walk through your humanity, all of a sudden you are ushered through your emotions. You're ushered through your body. You're ushered through your mind. And you're ushered through your identity, your uniqueness. On the other side of all of these aspects of you that you've been led to believe were wrong or that you had to change, you encounter an infinite field of energy, of light, of love. Some people call this God. Some people call it the divine. It doesn't matter what you call it. This is really who you are. This is what you are. This is why you are here. As you keep walking further and further into everything that was always ever present within you, everything within you begins to come into harmony, somehow as if by magic. You just don't have a problem with your emotions anymore. You don't have a problem with your feelings anymore. You realize that your mind is not a limitation, that what's happening in your body is not a commentary or a judgment on you. All of a sudden, you are one with everything. The same light as everything. The same love as everything. The same presence. Continuing to rest in the awareness of your breath. Here, in curiosity and awe and wonder, the beauty of it, the truth of it, the blessing of it. You begin to feel every part of you receiving this love, this pure love that you can't even articulate in words. Every part of your humanity, every aspect of you, bathing in this light, basking in this love. Recognizing what every great being before you recognized, that your humanity is not something that you have to overcome. It's a doorway that you walk through. It's a portal. It's an avenue of initiation into a far greater experience than you could ever imagine or comprehend. This love infusing your body, infusing your mind, infusing your feelings and your emotions. Every part of you wanted, accepted, cherished and adored, loved and nurtured, met with compassion. All that you are is loved. Here, all things become possible. A golden, sacred heart emerges. This heart is a manifestation of infinite love. You reach out and touch it. As soon as you do, your cells, your organs, your body, all that you are, your brain, your nervous system, all that you are, the entirety of your physical form receives this love. Your body is not a limitation. Every part of you receiving this love that is the truth of you. From now on, experiencing everything in your life through your heart, with love, as love. Redirecting all of your time, effort, energy, and resources away from trying to change yourself into simply just accepting and loving yourself. Your individuality, your uniqueness, and who you authentically are is your superpower. Continuing to rest in the awareness of your breath. Feeling the expansion and the presence of the truth of the love that you are within you. And every part of you included in this love. No part of you left behind. No part of you abandoned. No part of you rejected. Every part of you loved equally, embraced equally. If you don't mind, we're just going to permanently live on this side of the door from now on. As the infinite light, love and presence that is the truth of who we are, that's here for a limited time, having the experience of being a human being, expressing this infinite light, love and presence uniquely in the form of you. Everybody in your life was wrong about you. You're pure love. That's all you've ever been. That's all you can be. And that's why you're here. Take some breaths and allow yourself to very gently and very slowly become aware of your body again, the room that you're in. When you feel like you're back, you can open your eyes. If you're on Zoom, of course you can live chat with me, so let me know how you're doing. If you're on YouTube, watching there, leave me a comment. Let me know how you're doing. Our humanity is the doorway to our divinity. Through no fault of your own, you've been spending all of your time, effort, energy and resources trying to change who you are as a human being. When actually, all you had to do was walk through the doorway of your humanity into the truth of your infinite potential, light, love and presence. If you're tired of working on yourself, meditating for countless hours, hyperventilating, burning incense until there's no end to the incense that you can burn, sitting in a dark room, and fundamentally wishing for some other outcome other than the one that you have, if you're absolutely exhausted, head on over to panachesci.com and join us for Call to Calm every morning, absolutely free. Sign up for the Zoom link, show up every day, and access the power of consistency. We've discovered that the more consistent you are, the more you are empowered to live your life. Thousands of people, hundreds of thousands, if not millions at this point, of people just like you have found a profound sense of empowerment and peace, have been rendered fully capable as a result of it. For all of my daily Zoomers, I love you with all my heart. Stay tuned for emails and updates. And thanks as always for being present for my love letter to humanity. I'm here every day, Monday through Friday, and I'm super happy to be with you all. Just a reminder that today's replay will also be available on YouTube. Please share it, comment, like and subscribe. Post it through social media channels. And also, those of you that are all access subscribers will have access to this as soon as it's uploaded to our Netflix for Oneness. All access. Today is Wednesday. There's a group alignment session today. Group alignment sessions are your opportunity to be supported personally and individually in a group setting by me to engage in the highest form of spiritual practice, to be empowered to observe yourself without judgment, to live as your being, to experience as your soul, to be authentically and uniquely yourself. If that sounds like a valid use of your time, we'll see you there. Thanks for being here. I love you with all my heart, all my impact folks. Remember that tonight we've got the final installment of the Spirit Mastermind. I can't wait. It's going to be wonderful. Thank you all for your commitment, your consistency, and your repetition. What's fascinating is that I haven't changed. The message hasn't changed. That I'm still fundamentally who I am. And the blessing of being consistent with that is that one day you'll show up and all of a sudden you'll realize that my whole life I've been talking to you. And in that moment, you'll exclaim out loud, "Why didn't you just tell me on day one, Panache Desai?" Well, because your consistency renders you capable to be able to hear me. One day, I'll say it in exactly the way that you need to hear it. And you will access the same profound states of oneness, of unity consciousness, of universality, of infinite potential that every great being before you has accessed. Thanks for being my friend. I love you with all my heart. Have a great day, you beautiful humans. Until the next time, in case you miss me, which will be tomorrow morning via Zoom. All the information's on the website, panachesai.com. Take care. I love you with all my heart. All my YouTubers, like, subscribe, hit the bell button, leave a comment. Thank you. Helps with the algorithm. Be well, you beautiful humans. Be well. Our humanity is the doorway to our divinity. Your humanity is the doorway to your divinity. At some point, you just have to walk through it. Be well.